Hello, everybody. Um, gonna make just a very quick video on the astrology occurring right now. We are going to have the full moon in Scorpio take place tomorrow. We can see right now the moon is still in Libra at 18 degrees. The moon has recently crossed over the south node. The sun is in Taurus at 3 degrees. Jupiter and Uranus are still conjunction at 21 degrees Taurus. Um, Chiron is now at 20 degrees Aries. Venus recently crossed over Chiron at 21 degrees Aries. Mercury retrograde 16 degrees. I believe by tomorrow, Mercury will be 15 degrees. And then on the 25th, Mercury will station direct at 15 degrees, conjunct the North Node here. And then we have Mars in Pisces at 21 degrees, still moving forward in this forming conjunction with Neptune and Pisces there at 2 degrees. Pluto here at 2 degrees Aquarius. This is very significant. So, excuse me, let me see if I have the full moon. Okay, so let's just create a new chart. Okay, so full moon, bear with me. It's going to be at 4 degrees. Boom. All right, 23rd. Tomorrow, April 23rd at approximately 7:46 p.m. 7:40. We got the moon, 4 degrees, 17 degrees, 4 degrees, 17 minutes. The sun, 4 degrees, 18 minutes. So they will be, this will be the full moon here. Now, this full moon is very intense because it is going to be, oh, hold on, hold on. I think my computer is doing. All right, so this full moon is intense for a number of different reasons. One, it's the Scorpio full moon. Scorpio is the most intense sign of the zodiac, right? They feel all that they feel and experience what they experience in their internal world to the absolute most intensity, you know? And then, moon and Scorpio, the emotions, our subconscious, our intuition, the moon is what gives us our capability in empathically connecting with other life forms, with other sentient beings. The moon is that awareness, that emotional awareness of connecting and relating with other people. So moon and Scorpio, this is amplifying our awareness in what we are feeling right now. So, we've gone through the eclipse, April 8th, which was very intense. That was a massive, huge eclipse. And then on April 20th, 420, we had the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction starting a new synodic cycle at 21 degrees Taurus. That was a big deal. It was a huge deal. This Jupiter-Uranus conjunction occurs once every 14 years. So for this to occur in Taurus, big deal here. And now we have the full moon here. So this entire month of April has been quite a doozy, very intense. And Mars is still in Pisces. And like I'm so tired. I'm so sleepy. Um, right now. Like I've just been working so much. Like I've been working 12, 16-hour days, 6, sometimes 7 days a week. No lie, no joke. Um, but it's all good. So, you know, this Scorpio full moon, first off, aside from everything else, the Scorpio full moon that happens once every year is one of the most powerful full moons for a transformation, for a long-lasting transformation. This full moon is even a Buddhist holiday known as the Wesak moon, because this is the full moon where Shakyamuni Buddha obtained his enlightenment. And we have the sun in Taurus and the moon in Scorpio. These are two fixed energies. And the fixed energies, they don't change. They don't move. They last forever. They last for and Shakyamuni Buddha obtaining his enlightenment during the Wesak moon, his teachings then on forward that he orally passed on through what he accomplished under the full moon has lasted for centuries, a couple thousands of years now. So what occurs during this full moon is always very intense and has a profound lasting effect. Now, Taurus, the sun in Taurus, this is the body, okay? This is the body, this is our values, this is our five senses, and so much more. And in the moon, in Scorpio, this is our emotions. And Scorpio is that sign that wants to penetrate. Key word for Scorpio energy is penetration, also creation. Scorpio is very intense because they don't want to put up or deal with anything false, any superficialities. They want the purity of something. They want pure uncut cocaine. They don't want no fluff, nothing mixed in with it. And so, Scorpio has a reputation for being very broody, right? Very broody, very intense with their feelings. And it's, we live in a mundane world where there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of bullshit, there's a lot of false characters, false ego, and it's hard to find the real, right? It's hard to find the authentic, the true, the real. So Moon in Scorpio, this is a period of collectively of us moving and penetrating through many different layers of our ego and our emotions to get to some sort of core root that is operating behind the scenes of our subconscious formatting. And so, the way I see it, like this, with this full moon being the Wesak moon and Shakyamuni being able to obtain his enlightenment during this time, sun in Taurus, that's the body being able to be in this position to get very grounded, right? To be very grounded, lots of, yoga or fasting or whatever the case, but being grounded, being present with the body, being anchored. And then with that moon in Scorpio, internally through the meditation, being able to go through a lot of those layers of the underworld, the undercurrents of our emotional reality, of our emotional realm. And Scorpio is a sign that is of the dark, the taboo. And it's through the dark, it's through the taboo, it's through that where we transmute it to turn it into light, wisdom, ascension. So it makes so much sense for this type of full moon to be the full moon to obtain some sort of level of enlightenment and awareness that has a lasting effect, being that these are fixed signs. So meditating under the Bodhi tree, going through so many realms, right? And then the devils, the temptation, all of these things having to move through that moon in Scorpio and that intensity, right? And being able to move through all of that to reach that enlightenment, right? To find the other end of this underworld journey of our emotions, our egos, the taboos, the sabotage, the unconscious, the shadow, and finding that enlightenment to achieve a pineal gland activation, right? A release of DMT and the pineal gland activation. And because these are fixed energies, the vibration of what occurs during this time, they're stabilized. There's a stabilization with these vibrations. So it's not flighty, it's not like, oh, like I'm getting a glimpse of something wonderful, but it's hard, this is sustained vibration where you can, and then the sun in Taurus, the physical body is activated, the senses, the muscles, and so achieving that awareness, that enlightenment with the moon in Scorpio, and allowing the activation and the opening of the crown, then that floodgate of finally reaching that gold that treasure, that wealth of wisdom, to then integrate into the physical body. And the result is a massive transformation, a massive transformation that that will last. This is a huge, so this full moon that we're going through every year, this kind of full moon is very uh, powerful when setting those intentions of seeking to achieve an awareness and to receive an enlightenment of where you are currently at in your world, in your life, to then, shed a new layer, like the snake shedding its skin, shed a new layer and become anew, moving forward, more pure, more whole, more integrated, more conscious and understanding of your behaviors and the operations of your unconscious mind. Because within the hearts of every living being, of every man, woman, within the hearts of every person is the terrain of good and bad, of light and dark. So, no one is perfect. No one, no matter what you practice, is not dealing with some type of does not have that capacity within them. You know, like in today's understanding, there's all sorts of um things that have come to the surface, leaked to the surface surrounding Gandhi, right? And Gandhi was a great spiritual leader of India that was a huge figure in. I don't want to sound illiterate, so I need to refresh my mind of that fact of history. But Gandhi, he was somebody that achieved a very high level of his spiritual practice. And Gandhi was a Scorpio sun, a Scorpio moon, and a Scorpio rising. Okay. And some of the things that have come to the surface about him was he was weird. He was a weirdo. And there were certain things that he had within his practice that were very weird and made people question where his allegiances were. So like one of the things that I've come aware of is he would do things like have his niece or like a young female that was related to him lay with him in bed, like sleep with him in the bed, not have sex, but lay with him and sleep with him in the bed, and he would just be there, in the bed. And so to the uninitiate, right, to the masses coming across some sort of thing, right, then it's like, oh my gosh, Gandhi's this weird fucking pervert, blah blah blah, he's a pedo, he was trying to sleep with his nieces and da 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 da. Well, through the context of understanding astrology and what Scorpio is the taboo and sexual taboos, incest, uh, weird stuff, not acceptable things, and with Scorpio, being the sign that has the technology, the mechanisms within its archetype of death, rebirth, and transformation from the underworld to ascend to a higher state of awareness. Or Scorpio, the base, the most primal base expression of Scorpio is the animal of the scorpion, which the scorpion is a crazy animal that would literally kill itself with its own stinger if it can't find a way to escape the light. And once Scorpio embraces that light, then it transforms into the eagle, and the eagle being the bird, the animal that can fly highest in the sky and has amazing eyes, right? An eagle flying higher than any animal can see a fucking pebble roll down a mountain hundreds of feet in the air, right? Perception, penetration, clear sight, higher wisdom, seeing the whole thing. And then there's that transformational part of Scorpio, where then they become the phoenix, where they rebirth themselves through the ashes, becoming more pure, more conscious and integrated of their light and their dark. So Scorpio, out of all the signs in the zodiac, has the longest list of negative characteristics. Scorpio has the most nastiest dirty laundry pile, okay? But they have within them the mechanisms of transformation, of death and rebirth and transformation. So basically, they're here to do laundry. Scorpio energy is here to do the laundry. Scorpio energy is the tourmaline crystal of the zodiac that is here to absorb, 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 and transform it and transmute it. So going back to Gandhi, right? The way I see it, without even really knowing, and who knows if this is true or not, I'm not trying to justify, blah, blah, blah. But the way I see it is Gandhi was trying to achieve this very high level of his spiritual practice, right? To the point where the motherfucker was able to fucking sit down and light himself on fire and not burn, that's wild shit. So being that he was so Scorpio heavy, sun, moon, rising, and allowing himself to lay in bed with his niece, right? Where does his mind go? Where going into those underworlds, right? And putting yourself right at that edge to find the light, to transform and transmute it. So that's what I've understood about that whole side of things. So with the moon in Scorpio and the sun in Taurus, this is a powerful full moon that occurs every year, and it's known as the Wesak moon. But this year in particular, this full moon is going to be T squared by Pluto in Aquarius, and Pluto is the planet that rules Scorpio. So this is the first fucking um uh Scorpio full moon, sun in Taurus, that experience where Pluto is squaring the Taurus and the Scorpio energy. Like we've never experienced this in our lifetimes. This is the last time Pluto and Aquarius was squaring these two archetypes like this was like 250 years ago. Okay. So this is going to be a very intense time right now after we have just gone through a lot of different powerful events with the solar eclipse, with the lunar eclipse, Jupiter Uranus conjunction. Okay. So, Scorpio seeks to reveal. Scorpio seeks to reveal what is operating unconsciously beneath the surface of your awareness. And and it seeks to reveal because it's these things that ultimately can contribute to our own demise, our own self-sabotage, our own destruction when these aspects of ourselves don't come into the light, don't come into the awareness, and don't get integrated. So, being that we had the Jupiter Uranus conjunction just a few days ago, I wrote a beautiful post about this a couple of days ago at like 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning until 3:30 in the morning. I was just fucking like my mind was, and this Jupiter Uranus conjunction is the beginning of a 14-year cycle, and it's gonna be very uh, um, wild, expansive, and bring about intervals and fluxes of our money and how and our values and how we attract things that we want that increase our sense of self-worth. Um, so with Pluto being here, right, squaring the sun and the moon in Scorpio, Pluto is applying and Pluto in Aquarius. So Pluto in Aquarius is applying this pressure to our monies, our values and monies, our ego, um, and our self-esteem. So, the other thing about the Scorpio Taurus axis is these are both archetypes that are heavily involved with money, right? Taurus is money that you have, assets that you have. Scorpio is shared resources, shared assets. So like a loan from a bank, an investment into the stock market. So that area of money, that's scorpionic. Like when you go watch a movie, a box office at the movie, that whole network of how Hollywood makes money from movies, advertisements, music, and all that stuff. That is the domain of the Scorpio energy. Um, so Pluto in Aquarius, first off, Pluto's going to be in Aquarius for like the next 20 years with a retrograde going back into Capricorn later on this year, but that's the last time Pluto will retrograde back into Capricorn. So after this year, Pluto will be in Aquarius for a solid 20 plus years, I think like 20 years at least. And this whole, we are just getting started with this Pluto and Aquarius era here. And, you know, one of the primary functions of Pluto and Aquarius for the next 20 years right now is to evolve our consciousness, because Aquarius is a genius type of energy that only seeks to evolve, to push humanity to the next levels of evolution, whether it be through science, through engineering, through consciousness. Um, and the other thing about Aquarius is it's the alien of the zodiac. Aquarius is the alien of the zodiac. So Pluto being in Aquarius, and how Pluto is a planet that reveals what is hidden, what is being kept secret, what is operating in the occult, in secret. Pluto in Aquarius is going to really, do a number of different things. One of the most coolest things is it's going to activate people's consciousness to have a larger bandwidth capacity to interface with advanced frequencies, aka telepathic connection with non-physical extraterrestrial beings, aliens, entities. Um, so that is going to bring an evolution in that realm of contact with other forms of consciousness via frequencies. The other thing is it's going to really propel and advance our science, technology. I think the day or the week Pluto entered Aquarius in January was the same week the first Neuralink, Elon Musk's Neuralink operation happened. So like things are going to be moving really fast in these Aquarian realms. But the other thing about Aquarius is it's collective, it's humanity. It's groups of people. Like, so when you go to a retreat, when you go to an event, a conference, that is a collective group of people that have a common interest, and they go to this event. So that whole action, the group, the event, the coming together, the shared interest, that's all Aquarian theme. So Pluto and Aquarius is collective stuff, right? So with this Pluto and Aquarius squaring the sun and the moon, this is going to bring a pressure of this undercurrent of a collective energy that is seeking to be seen and understood, of that is expanding our awareness of so much more happening beyond just this mundane world, but universally, quantumly. So this Pluto in Aquarius squaring the moon and the sun is intense. So, narrowing this in to one more fine type of detail is, with the Taurus energy, with Jupiter, Uranus, Sun in Taurus, and then the Scorpio full moon with the Pluto square. This is becoming aware of certain aspects of self that excuse me, that need to change right now, that need to go through some sort of shift, because the moon in Scorpio is wanting us to see something dark, something within the shadow, within operating within us, that needs to be transformed right now. So as a result, as an effect to the mundane reality for most people, is most people right now can be feeling some type of way. They could be struggling with something internally that is affecting their sense of confidence, their self-esteem. And so people expect to experience people being very moody right now, being very moody and very sensitive about themselves and how they respond and react to their external environment. And the thing about this is that the challenge is realizing that what is creating this effect of this moodiness, this intensity, is because there is something within your individual identity, your individual ego, behaviors and patterns that need to be realized. And so this Scorpio full moon right now, going back to Shakyamuni and how he obtained his enlightenment, Sun and Taurus, the physical body being activated, getting grounded and meditating. And don't forget Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus too. So this is allowing us to go through this massive expansion where the nervous system is being activated for an advanced higher mind energy to come through it. And now that the sun is here, this is allowing us to anchor our conscious awareness into the body while being cognitive in the expansion and the opening of the energy moving through our nervous system. And then the moon in Scorpio, that moon in Scorpio is putting us in this position where our awareness is focusing on penetrating on what is operating within us right now that we are giving power to, that is making us feel sad, irritated, angry, or just like not happy. What is going on right here that is affecting me in this negative way? That moon in Scorpio wants us to really swim through these places to find it. And that Pluto in Scorpio brings the challenge. It brings that pressure. What is applying that pressure in order for you to dig deep and find that? And that's going to be a great social awareness, but a great collective awareness, because consciousness within humanity is getting ready to birth itself into a whole new evolutionary level right now. So there is a conscious breach right now that wants to happen. And it's that, the whole world is feeling the pressure, right? So with this pressure, this undercurrent energy that's happening within the collective consciousness of humanity is being that pressure right now to this full moon, to allow that undercurrent to be discovered on an individual basis. And then we go through this transformation. So this is like um whatever. It was a stupid example anyway. So this is pretty intense. And then with Mars still in Pisces, it's like, and we had so many Aries energy going on. The Aries energy is like initiate, action, go, 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 do. But with the ruler of Aries, Mars being in Pisces, it's like, hold on, slow down, meditate. So basically, like the effect of the combination of this Aries energy and this Pisces energy, it's like overloading yourself with caffeine and putting a lot to do on your plate, but then being so overly stimulated that you need to practice qigong. So it's like I used to do this to myself for fun, where I would chug a glass of black coffee, I would just like drink black coffee and get myself really amped up and play some death metal music and then meditate. I would meditate with the death metal music, do some yoga, and with the caffeine rolling through my body. And basically what I would do in that state, right? I just like really agitated and brought myself to this high level stress, right? Chemically, stimulants, the music, and now I'm putting myself in this position to biohack, right? To hack into my body. And that's what all this Taurus energy is. It's like hack into your body. And despite the stimulant, despite what's happening in here, find the stillness. Find the stillness. Slow your heart rate down. Breathe. Tap into your senses. Even though you just chugged a glass of coffee, even though these heavy death metal riffs want you to fucking headbang right now, master yourself, biohack your body, and learn how to, so that's what this combination of this Aries Pisces energy is. It's like the Aries energy is like, it's got us overstimulating, right? And we want to focus, we want to channel that energy somewhere, but that Mars is like, no, you know, right here. And then with the Scorpio energy going on, this is like biohacking right now. So it's important for us at this time to learn how to access our body and our nervous system and to calm ourselves despite the pressure of the world, despite the pressure we put on ourselves and this need for gratification to have now. So yeah, so this is a wild full moon. There's more places that I wanted to take this, but as I've been saying, I've been working I've been working 12, 16 hours a day, 5, 6 days a week. So my time has been very short. And so I've just been trying to give you really good, brief explanations of things, my own 2 cents of the whole. But again, this full moon is going to be very intense. It's it's one where this is a full moon where we're here to dig, to dig beneath the soil of our own psyche, of our own emotional state, and to be able to, despite what is happening, the pressures of the world, our own pressure, our own anxiety, despite that, to master your ability to ground and biohack, whether it's through breathing, whether it's through yoga, and tell your mind, tell your ego, tell your nervous system, no, no, we're going to enter this other state right now. Okay, we're gonna change our frequencies right now. And while doing that, Moon in Scorpio. All right. What is it? What's going on here? Where is the thorn underneath my ass? I'm gonna fucking find it and pluck it out. And so going through this discovery, then it's the going through this discovery to receive a crown chakra opening and the Jupiter Uranus conjunction going on. This is gonna really allow us to experience an evolution in our self-awareness, in our consciousness, that is going to expand the bandwidth and how much higher energy we can actually sustain within our body through our nervous system, and then forever changing a lesser vibration that was operating within us and unconsciously. And that Pluto in Aquarius bringing that square is just it's a collective. We are collectively going through this process right now. So this is a full moon where you want to meditate. You want to put yourself in this position to center yourself, to ground. And the more busy, the more shit you got going on in your life right now, then the more you actually need to sit your ass down and practice that. Practice practice bringing yourself, because you are greater than all your problems. You are greater than all the stresses. So even though you have limited time, you got all these things you have to do. Take out the trash, do some laundry, pay some bills, get the money, make all these connections, stop by the gas station on your way to work. Do you have enough time? Traffic, like all this shit, right? Because the universe responds to us and this anxiety and this energy. So this is being able to master your reality through actively biohacking and grounding your physical body and controlling the senses and how your nervous system responds and reacts to all of these things. And so something that I wanted to say a few nights ago about this is existential crisis energy. That's what I'm talking about, with the Pluto in Aquarius squaring this. The Pluto in Aquarius, the Pluto in Aquarius, the Pluto in Aquarius squaring I love that, the Pluto in Aquarius. The Pluto squaring this, right? The Pluto energy in Aquarius, this is the existential crisis energy, and that's what's occurring. Because that's what I'm trying to say is, collectively, we are all, whether we want to be aware of it or not, are going through an existential dread. We are going through an existential crisis, because what the fuck is going on? What are they doing? What are they doing to the food? What are they doing to the water? What are they doing to the sky? What's going on at the border? What's going on with these other countries? What's going on here? This is an election year. What is, so there, and remember, Pluto is Lord of the underworld, and it's in Aquarius. So there is a lot within the collective consciousness underworld, this strong undercurrent of energy, because Pluto seeks to reveal what gets what is being suppressed within the unconscious because we don't want to look at it. Pluto reveals what we don't want to look at. So this is the existential crisis right here that's coming from the collective, experience, cha challenging our body, our sense of values and self-worth, and this our underworld, our subconscious, our deep subconscious, what that moon in Scorpio here wants us to penetrate through a lot of fucking narratives and bullshit we tell ourselves, okay? Because it's all you, it's all us. So this is going to bring a challenge to people's egos, to my ego, to your ego, okay? Um, yeah, anyways, I now have to go. So with that being said, as I always say, it's all love and light, death and darkness, and we full spectrum out here, family. Today is the last day to book a reading on my sale, to get a discount. Use coupon code Aries, you save $25. After the end of this sale, some point this week, my regular prices are going to go up to $111. So my regular prices have been $95, and with the sale, you're saving $25. So a reading right now costs $70. After this week, when the sale ends and my prices go up, my average price is going to be $111, and I won't be having another sale for a while. So this is the last day to hop on that and take advantage of that. Because, I've been doing this for a long time. I know my value. I know my worth. I know what I offer to you is great. It's quality service that I bring to you. And yeah, so with that being said, peace, y'all.